You look at your life and you think of the opportunities and how they pop up. You know, I get out of prison. I get a job. I become a good roofer. I become an estimator. The whole time wanting to do comedy, but not having the balls to even consider it. Like wanting in the worst way possible. Like just wanting it so badly, Lee, that I was walking around, and now thinking back, that was what my problem was.
That you were so overeager?
I wanted to do comedy so bad, but I was so fucking scared. Like just telling you this right now, people, I have tears in my eyes and I'm holding thinking like I'm going to fight. I can't explain to you how hard it is to live your life and want to do something, but you're so fucking scared. Like I was in prison. I had my mother. I had nothing going on. I was a thief and I had nothing going on. I'm finally married and I got a little baby and I fucking got everything going, but I fucking wanted to do comedy in the worst fucking way. And I didn't know how. But let's cut this shit. I was just such a fucking pussy. I was such a fucking pussy, Lee.
And this desire came just from the Dice tapes and like the people in the time in jail?
I got out of the halfway house in 89, and this desire started January of 1990. This desire, close to it. Let's just assume, because I remember in 89, I was in a halfway house, and I rented the downstairs and brought the Andrew Dice Clay in tape.
Right.
And at that time, I thought it was very funny, and I was angry because I thought that these are the thoughts I had in my head for years, what he was saying.
So you're mad at him that he said it? Or
Yes, I was mad at him that he said it before I had the balls to say it.
And it's just so weird to me to think about you having fear about that.
Oh, my God. Fear, like wanting to do it. And it was a closet thing. I didn't tell anybody.
Okay, so like...
There's no way I would say it, because if I told somebody, then they would pressure me.
So like...
Okay, just laying there. You ever sit at a table, ladies and gentlemen, there's a fucking newspaper there. And I don't know what. I didn't get, if you know the Rocky Mountain News, it's not like a traditional paper that you open. It's like the New York Post. You open it from...
like a book.
Like a book. Okay, but for some reason, when I opened it, I went to open it to the sports page. Like, you know when you just take like 16 pages or whatever the fuck it is? Like you take a guess. And when I opened it, it landed on a page, and it was a picture of a stand-up comedian with his hand up in the air and a microphone, and it said, stand-up comedy in Denver, the new explosion. Lee, my fucking heart stopped.
And how long ago had you watched the movie?
A month. But up to this month, I'm all fucked up in the head. I watched this movie, now I'm more fucked up. And I'm not going to lie to anybody. I did 911 comedy clubs, 411 comedy clubs, and I did call the Comedy Works after I watched Punchline. And they said it's Tuesday nights, you have to call a week in advance. And guys, do you think I called? Fuck no.
So like that's what I wanted to ask you. So like you're like, okay, call a week in advance. When it's Tuesday morning, and you're like, it's the day to call. Why don't you call?
Petrified.
Of what?
I had the American dream, and now I wanted to live my life like a nomad, how I had been living it all my life. Was I fucking stupid? I got a wife, I got a little kid. I'm becoming an estimator on my own.
Oh, so you saw it as a career change.
I almost had a college degree, but the school wouldn't let me go back on campus because of my felony. I just had all these disasters. And what do you want me to do? I'm going to quit everything to become a stand-up comedian? That's a fucking pipe dream. But I open up this newspaper, and it says stand-up comedy, blah, 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 blah. It's huge. It's the explosion of Roseanne. Now, this is February of 91. Roseanne was fucking huge, Lee. Like, the
TV show.
It's like King of Thrones. It had just dethroned Cosby's. Cosby's had been #1 on whatever night on fucking for 8 years in a row. Nobody beat him. Jesus could come on playing the drums for the Beatles, and they still couldn't beat out the fucking Cosby Show. And Roseanne beat him. So Roseanne was the shit now. So all the article was about Roseanne and how she became a comic in Denver, and all what's going on in Denver now, the explosion of comedians in Denver, the open mic scene. And then they have a thing that says how to become a comedian. And they had all these things that you could do, but they had one right there in Boulder. And it was starting in about a week and a half. And again, I pussied out for the first 3 or 4 days. And then it was $35. And I go, I buy cocaine 5 days a week for $50, $100. I can't go spend $35. And I went and I spent the $35 fucking dollars.
And so, like, you were already thinking, I want to be a stand-up comedian full-time?
Not at all, Lee. Not at all, Lee. Please don't embarrass me, make me cry. Not at all. I thought I was a fucking loser on a lucky streak. That's it. Who the fuck was I to be a stand-up comedian? I just wanted to do it. It was eating me alive how bad I wanted to do it, but who the fuck am I, Lee? What the fuck have I done? What are my chances? I'm lucky I'm walking around. I got people looking for me because I own $1,300 in Jersey still, and I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. Who the fuck am I kidding? So after the class, he closed up. It was a 3-hour class. And we all stood in the hallway while he went back in, and then you went in and he'd tell you your review. What you should do, what he thought you should do. And when I went in there, he was a white dude from Long Island. He was cool, you know. He seemed pretty fucking cool, but I didn't think he liked my comedy. And when I walked in, he goes, who are your influences? I said, I really like Richard Pryor, and I like Hicks, and I like Andrew. And he goes, you should consider this. He goes, you should consider this, and here's my number if you need help. I go, what do I do from here? He goes, there's open mics everywhere. Just start going to open mics. When I walked out of there, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not listening to this fucking clown. You're crazy.
So you weren't excited? You were like almost...
I was excited. Come on. Fuck yeah. Those are the words exactly that I wanted to fucking hear.
Right.
Those are the exact words I wanted to fucking hear.
But then you immediately went to...
I went home. I went home and I looked in the mirror and I'm like, who the fuck am I kidding? So I had no fucking gig. But I was just spinning my wheels. I was just spinning my wheels like everybody else does in their life. And not even knowing it. Like, not even knowing it. And I love car sales. And I loved roofing, and I was good at estimating. But I just wanted to try.
It was like what you were meant to do, you thought.
Fuck. Like, it was just horrible. And I was, you know, asking the comedians questions every week when they would come in. How is this life? What do you think? You really have a family and do this? Some guys had day jobs and were still doing it. It was just very obscure, and I still refused to get on the fucking